Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we're going to be tackling the question of, can the Flood pilot Banshees in Halo 2? So, as you probably noticed by now, in Halo 2, the Flood are very capable creatures. They are capable of driving and piloting almost any vehicle. We see them driving UNSC and Covenant vehicles throughout the mission coordinate zone, both Ghosts, Warthogs, Wraiths, and so on. They can pretty much drive almost anything. And even in lore and cutscenes, we see them like driving flying pelicans, poorly, and we also see them flying entire UNSC frigates like the Inamber Clad. And despite all that, knowing that they can pretty much drive anything or pilot anything, what about Banshees? Because there are no missions in Halo 2 where we see Banshees and Flood at the same time in gameplay. So, can they drive Banshees anyways? So here, to test that, we are playing as a Flood on a mission, the Oracle. And I chose this mission specifically because it's the only mission that has Flood and Banshees on the same mission in the game files. Just never in gameplay. Now, as you can see here, even though we're playing as a Flood Combat Elite, to be more specific, we cannot fly Banshees. We only have the option to flip the Banshees, but we cannot pilot the Banshees. They just can't get in. And as you probably learned by now if you watched some of my previous videos, in order for a character to drive or pilot a certain vehicle, they need to have the proper animations. And the Flood Combat Elites simply do not have the animations to do that. So here I am playing as the Arbiter again, and now I'm piloting a Banshee because I'm the Arbiter. So even though the Flood cannot drive or fly Banshees, they can still board Banshees though, which we never ever see in gameplay, because like I said, there's no missions where there's Banshees and Flood at the same time in gameplay. But despite that, the Flood do have the animations and the ability to hop on Banshees and, well, just keep meleeing them. They can't kick you out of the Banshees, but they can hold on to the Banshee and just keep hitting it. Just like drones, basically, when they get on your vehicles. Drones or buggers, they just keep whacking your vehicle, and they won't drive it, but they'll just keep, hitting it. And that's the same with the Flood. They will hop on your Banshee and they'll keep hitting it, but they'll never drive it. And of course, they can hop on either side of the Banshee, left or right, or both at the same time, if there's two Flood, as you can see here. But it's pretty easy to shake them off. A simple Banshee flip usually is enough to get them off. But aside from that, yeah, that's basically all the Flood can do. The Flood Combat Elites can do with Banshees. There's no missions where there's human Flood combat forms and Banshees on the same mission in the game files, so I can only test this with the Flood Combat Elites. But I'll explain in a little bit why that makes a difference. But the faster you fly the Banshee, the Flood combat forms, they don't seem to hold on very well if you fly really fast. And after a short while of like boosting with the Banshee at full speed, they will let go. And if you're really high up, well, that's pretty much the end of those Flood combat forms. But anyways, the reason why I mentioned a little difference with the Flood humans and elites is because the Flood elites, they actually can't drive that many vehicles. They can't even drive the Spectre here. And based on the game files, their animations that support driving vehicles, Flood Combat Elites can only drive Ghosts. They can't drive anything else. All the other vehicles you see that have Flood in them, like Warthogs, Scorpion tanks, even the Wraiths, those are all Flood Combat human forms, not the Elite forms. The Elites can only drive Ghosts. And I've checked, and that's pretty much the case for pretty much all the missions that have Flood on them. But as you can see here, when playing as a human Flood combat form, then I can drive the Spectre, which is actually pretty rare to see as well, but doesn't take any modding for it to happen. You could just like leave your Spectre on the open and hope some Flood human combat forms will walk by it. But yeah, so there you go. The Flood combat humans, they can drive pretty much any vehicle, but they still can't drive Banshees either, based on their animations in the game files. But hopefully you guys did find this video to be interesting, and if you did, then as always, make sure to leave a like. Leave thoughts in the comments if there's any other questions you have or anything else you want to check out or look into. Just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll definitely do my best to look into it when I get the chance. But aside from that, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys!